So we've talked a lot about college football, and we talk a lot of NFL. One of our favorite things is when those two combine.
Oh, yeah.
And we can
Merging.
talk way too early NFL draft because it's all of our favorite college football players going to our favorite NFL teams, and you get to talk about rankings and combines and Mel Kiper just making shit up and just pulling shit out of his ass. Zach Wilson too, all that nonsense. But right now we have live odds for who's going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. And so I want to have a quick, debate or discussion around who we would like to bet on at these odds. And we'll throw the list up here. Not everyone has it in front of them. So, if you say a player, I can just tell you their odds. But, who should be the number one pick and who you would bet on at these current odds to be the number one pick. I'll quickly read off a few. You can read them yourself, like I said. Number one is Shedeur Sanders, plus 200. Prohibitive favorite to be the number one overall pick. The second guy is Travis Hunter at plus 340. So, Dion, the marketer.
They're cooking.
If he's he's a great coach, great marketer. He's got the number 1 and 2. Cam Ward at 3, Jackson Dart, Will Campbell, Jalen Milroe, Kevin Banks Jr., and Nussie rounding out the top few. So I guess Mario, I'll go to you. If there's a player we didn't list, I can pull up the odds and all that. But who would you bet, and who do you think is going to be the number one pick?
I mean, obviously Garrett. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's not Jaden Daniels. He's not. Let's calm down now. I mean, obviously, Travis Hunter is fantastic. I think, though, this year more than ever, we've kind of realized or seen that wide receivers don't really equate to wins. Like, Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the NFL statistically, and the Bengals are poverty. So,
yeah, and you look at the teams who drafted receivers, like, the Giants, the Bears,
I think now he does obviously play the other end of the football, cornerback. I still think corner, a little more impact than receiver. Still, though, I don't know if it's as big of an impact as I would say an offensive tackle or a quarterback. If we're talking quarterbacks, truly, not even joking around, I think my personal favorite quarterback going into this class is Jackson Dart.
Oh, yeah.
But Shedeur Sanders, I think, deserves to be up in that top 3. But it comes down to who's drafting at number 1. Now, if it's like the Patriots, you have Drake May, who I think, from what we've seen, I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be good. And then I think you would go Will Campbell, who's a freak of an offensive.
On the offensive line,
Yeah. So if it's not.
Your LSU boy.
Yeah. No, I mean, our O-line is fantastic.
Best in college
so, I mean,
football.
all those dudes are, I feel like they're can't miss. Take them, secure that O-line. Now, if it's the Giants and you need a quarterback, I would say go Jackson Dart.
Okay, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, Mario's absolutely right. It is 100% dependent on who is going to be that first overall pick. I think right now, the, most favored to be the number 1 is the Panthers, which at that point, it would kind of make sense to put Travis Hunter because, I mean, they could definitely use a corner and they could use a receiver, so and he kind of fits both of those needs there, which is kind of funny. But, I mean, again, Mario's absolutely right. If it ends up being the Patriots, which I don't think they're actually...
They're the favorite to be the number one pick.
Oh, they are? Oh, okay. Well, then I stand corrected. Then I could see definitely a Will Campbell or even a Kevin Banks Jr. go on the defensive side of the ball and, kind of get pieces there because he's right. Drake May is, he's fine, especially in that first quarter against the Rams. I mean, they were doing well, and then we started to kick ass because we're the Rams.
Making this a Rams conversation.
Texas
and the Rams.
Texas and Rams.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But, one of the recent rumors that I actually really, really like, and I don't even know how possible this would be, but if somehow the Cowboys can get that 1 spot and then draft Shedeur and then get Dion as their head coach, I think that would be electric. It would give me so many more reasons to hate them. I already despise the Cowboys. I already hate them as a family. I would just continue to
family.
I hate
the Jones family.
Yeah, the Jones family, of course. Jerry Jones. Yeah, I hate him.
I feel like that's surprising. I feel like he would really fit your catalog of people you like.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
drafting from the mega yacht, like old Dr. Evil, per style.
Yeah, I'm for the good guys.
Texas.
What?
He's from Texas.
He's a Dallas boy. He's like a SMU boy.
Which is what's
He's SMU though.
No, Mike's an Austin guy.
Yeah, I'm an Austin guy.
Oh,
have you ever been to Austin, Mike?
No. Have you ever been to Texas?
Hey, I have family in Austin. I have family in Austin. I have
This family
in
we've never heard of until this
Yeah,
year.
it's
You know?
just
You've met them.
Uncle
sure.
Sarkeesian.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think if we're not going with the Cowboys getting Shedeur and Dion, and we're not going with the Panthers getting Travis Hunter, in my personal opinion, I actually really like Milroe. I think Milroe seems to be the most NFL ready. I think he's gonna. Yeah, I think there's really good odds. I think he's going to be one of those people who, similar to Jaden Daniels, will closer to when the time comes, he won't actually be in that contention for number one. But I really wouldn't be surprised if next year he ends up being the best rookie quarterback. But I think it's just one of those things where I think he might go under the radar. But do I think he deserves it? I think, out of the quarterbacks, he probably does.
Yeah, so I actually misspoke. Sorry. The favorite is the Giants to get the first pick. Second favorite is the Patriots, and then the Jags. So, just going off of those teams, if the Patriots or the Jags get the first pick, it's not going to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
That they would pick. But the Giants need a quarterback badly.
Yeah.
Very, very badly. The Cowboys, everyone is talking Shedeur to the Cowboys. And everyone's talking Shedeur to Las Vegas. Shedeur tweets out after every Raiders loss, God is great, and he does it immediately after the game's over. There's a lot going on. He wants to be in a big market. Yeah, I could totally see him in Vegas. That's perfect.
Dion's the coach.
Yeah, that's perfect.
A little Bronny.
They're not changing the coach over there.
Quinn to Vegas.
They love their coach.
Yeah.
But I think it doesn't matter who the first pick is because I think a team trades into that spot to go get Shedeur Sanders. I'm almost completely convinced of this now. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's the best quarterback going in the draft. Ooh. I would say it's Cam Ward. I know a lot of people don't agree on here. Mm-hmm. I think Cam Ward is very, very, very... The way he throws the ball, he puts it in spots I don't think any quarterback in college football does. But who I would take at one is Mykel Williams. I love defensive ends
is that
from
the defensive
Georgia.
End from Georgia?
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's a.
I would take Mykel Williams. He's at plus 2,600. The trend is obviously quarterback. That's what teams want. So I think if you're the Jags or the Patriots, you lose every game the rest of the season, and you make the Cowboys or the Raiders pay you draft picks, like multiple 2 first-round picks, second-round pick, and a player, all that for that first spot. You move back a little, then you get Mykel Williams and then go get a bunch of Will Campbell, a bunch of offensive linemen. But I do think Shedeur goes one regardless of who, because I think there'll be trades to go get him.
Yeah, this is first off, foremost, every year you should draft the best offensive lineman. Will Campbell should be the number 1 overall pick.
You're on Joe Alt last year.
Just like Joe Alt last year, I said they change a team so much, it's ridiculous. And every year we talk about these quarterbacks that they want to draft, they suck because they don't have an offensive line. It's simple as that. No matter what you draft in the top 3 picks, if you didn't build an offensive line, switch around offensive lines and make them good, they're going to suck. It's just how it is every year. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, the only person that's changed, CJ Stroud, they built an offensive line. Jaden Daniels, they flipped the entire offensive line, switched people around, got people in the offseason, changes everything. So I just think...
And the Texans hit on every pick also.
I'm saying,
Will Anderson, they went...
But Will Campbell, the other one, I'm with Mario. I love Jackson Dart here. People don't realize that he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football.
Yep.
It's just so skipped on. He has better stats than Shedeur in almost every category. He's better touchdown, interception, better completion rating, better yards, better everything. Cam Ward's obviously won in just Miami scores 1 million points a game.
Yeah.
But Jackson Dart's playing SEC teams. He's beating the Georgias. He's playing massive games. He's almost like LSU games, Death Valley games, and he's balling in them. And even with wide receivers that aren't even there, his best wide receivers not there in 2 of those games. So I think Jackson Dart's the guy. I love if he makes a run. Say Colorado loses next week or kind of looks shaky or doesn't win the Big 12. Jackson Dart makes a run in the college football playoff. They win 1 or 2 games, maybe play. I love Jackson Dart here at 15-1, just odds wise. Not even the fact that I do think he's going to be the best rookie quarterback. Odds wise, I love Jackson Dart.
I'm kind of a psychopath. I think the path for Jackson Dart is actually Colorado getting in the playoffs, because I don't think not Travis Hunter, excuse me. Shedeur Sanders can really get exposed by Arizona State. I think he'll play well. We haven't seen a game where Shedeur Sanders looks awful. I mean, the Nebraska game you can point to early in the season, but their whole team is bad. I think the chance he's not the quarterback one off the board is if they make the playoffs, get a bye, and then go and play one of the best teams in the country in Ohio State, and he can't complete a pass. Like if that's the situation where he
That could be
has
possible.
one of the worst games ever, it's his first real tough game. Because you got to remember, they won 4 or 5 games last year. And then this season, I mean, they're in the Big 12. They've won some good games, but it's not like they're playing these insane teams.
Yeah.
Not like the competition Jackson Dart played. When you were just talking about the competition, I was like, oh, wait, like, I feel like that might be a scenario you see these odds change a lot, is if they play real competition, if Travis Hunter gets burned by some of these wide receivers in the SEC, if, he can't go against some of these corners, if Shedeur can't complete passes against these crazy blitzes. Like, I think that's a scenario where you can see something like this happen. But I do think it will be Shedeur at the end of the day.
Damn. I kind of like that, though. Betting on all these other crazy players if Colorado makes the playoffs. Because they will, in my opinion, there's not a doubt in my mind they're going to get exposed.
It's just, I think it depends on who they play. There are so many scenarios where they play bad teams.
But even like in Indiana's going to score 70 on their head.
Oh, no.
Indiana's offense.
No.
They're
I mean, I
one
don't
of the
give a
best
crap.
offenses in the nation.
Mike, they haven't played anyone.
But if you just do Big 10 versus...
Okay,
Big Ten versus Big 12.
They have one of the best. They have one of the best offenses. We'll see it this week against Ohio
Colorado's
State.
played a harder schedule than Indiana. That's just a fact. They played multiple ranked teams.
I just think this is going to... Conversations is going in a circle, but yeah. I don't know. I think Indiana would... I don't think Colorado's defense is anything. I think anyone would
The
score.
only
100
thing
on
I
them.
would push back on with the whole Colorado getting exposed is now we saw Shedeur not play well against Nebraska, which I didn't like when he did this, but was it true? Yes, when he kind of blamed his offensive line, which was to Ryan's point, like when a quarterback doesn't have time to throw, the team can't really succeed. So like if they go out against an old like
And the O-line just gets
and the
worse.
O-line just gets like destroyed every snap and he has 2 seconds
Then
to
they're
throw the
not
ball.
pointing to him.
It doesn't really
true, yeah.
then it's like okay, well
There's a lot of ways.
like
it can
they
get
know
flipped.
everyone knows Colorado's team isn't good.
Well, it's just going to be Mel Kiper. How Mel Kiper evaluates that game. You know what I mean? He's like, how he puts that random
no,
number
it's
one
gonna be
pick.
it's gonna be
NFL
like
is
when
big business.
it's gonna be like
They
when
want
Chris
Shedeur.
Collinsworth watches like Mahomes like throw the ball like out of bounds and like you've never seen like he works
never
on
seen a
this in
throwaway
practice
ball.
this torque.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, ESPN, they love
know.
Shedeur. Yeah, they want Shedeur to be in the one.
No,
conference.
Shedeur's gonna go number one.
Yeah,
Shedeur's going to like lock it in.
Shedeur, Mike.
and I can't.
How miserable
Who's
do you
gonna
have
be
to
a better number one
no,
pick?
Mike,
Caleb Williams or Shedeur?
Caleb Williams and
Sanders.
Shedeur. What's worse for you?
Who
Who do you hate more? Shedeur.
Caleb Williams.
Is it by a mile or is it like getting close now that Shedeur's actually getting?
It's pretty close.
Because before it was Shedeur was nothing. Colorado's gonna win 4 games. Shedor's gonna be whatever. Now it's like no
Yeah, I
one
hate
pick the
that he's
playoffs.
relevant again. I hate that he's
Wait,
relevant.
Mike. Who's gonna turn out better career-wise? Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders.
I don't mind that.
I agree.
That's absurd.
I agree.
Literally absurd.
I agree. I'm with you, Mike. I'm
Shedeur,
with you, Mike.
Dude, if Shedeur goes to the Giants,
Raiders.
I'm the only person in the entire pod or
Raiders.
world that
Money.
thinks Shedor's gonna get so exposed
Shedeur
when he
has
goes to the NFL.
Shedeur has
goes to
off
the
the
Giants
book
with Malik
unaccountable
Neighbors, he could
statistics and factors that will play into
Off
reasons
the book, unaccountable statistics and factors. What is
so like
that mean?
intangibles.
intangible.
He has the intangible.
He has the
No.
untangible.
He has some of
You're
the
sounding.
intangibles.
I think you're trying to say unintelligible.
Yeah, he might be unintelligible too.
The
That's
guy's
not
not
what
gonna
that
do
means.
anything in the
No.
NFL.
But yeah, well, I mean, we can have, we're gonna definitely have
We'll
more
have the
draft
Shedeur
conversations.
Yeah, we'll have the.
We're gonna have
quarterback
plenty more
talks, yeah.
quarterback conversations,
Especially
but
off season.
It sounded to me there like Mike's coming around on Shedeur.
Coming
It sounded
around,
a little
around.
like Mike's coming around.
You'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. You'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
She'll be coming around the mountain.
Shedeur!
All right, there you have it. Shedeur.